Justin from Canada. Justin is the current Prime Minister of Canada, a figure that is the center of controversy almost as often, if not more, than President Trump himself. Every time Justin goes out to talk to the people that he represents, he ends up catering to the specific standards of a minority and alienating the majority. Justin is the type of guy that started off with a lot of momentum, with mainstream praise due to his relation to a former Canadian Prime Minister. Also, how can you not like somebody falling downstairs just to impress you? This weekend, world leaders from throughout the world met for the G20 summit, and at this summit, Justin from Canada was yet again left humiliated, a feeling he has become accustomed to, I'm sure. It was sad to watch. You can see his lack of confidence, and collectively people across the internet pointed their fingers and laughed at him. Following the summit, not only did President Trump take to Twitter, of course, to remind Justin just how respected he is, this amazing clip from an interview came out early the next morning.
I have consistently stood up for Canadian interests, consistently demonstrated where we disagree, but done so in a polite and cordial context. I think that's what...
Wow, everything about this guy is fake. I guess he had been sweating so much trying to muster up the courage to confront President Trump that his fake eyebrows fell off of his face. This is the sort of thing that might be difficult to come back from if he wants to have a future in politics, but Justin, he has come back from far less. For instance, remember a few months ago when he interrupted a woman to correct her when she said mankind.
As maternal love is the love that's going to change the future of mankind. So we'd like you to look
we like to say people kind, not necessarily mankind, because it's more inclusive.
There we go, exactly. Yes, thank you.
We can all learn from each other.
He was, of course, criticized by people who typically worship this type of mentality, accused of mansplaining, and he was forced to come forward and apologize.
Made a dumb joke a few days ago that seems to have gone a little viral in the room on the people kind comment. It played well in the room and in context. Out of context, it doesn't play so well, and it's a little reminder to me that I shouldn't be making jokes even when I think they're funny.
Like sharks in the water. Can you imagine if Justin from Canada said something a little bit edgier, something, God forbid, offensive? This wasn't the first time that Justin from Canada became a laughingstock, nor would it be the last. After Fidel Castro passed away, Justin spoke somewhat highly of him, saying that he was a remarkable leader, which angered many throughout his nation.
Mr. Speaker, under the dictatorship of Fidel Castro, thousands of Cubans were imprisoned, impoverished, and even executed. Our Canadian values of free speech, free thought, and assembly were curtailed and even banned. This is why so many Canadians were astonished that on behalf of them, the Prime Minister described Fidel Castro as a remarkable leader. When the Prime Minister praised Castro, one of the world's worst dictators, what was he thinking?
Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the friendship and connection between the Canadian people and the Cuban people has long been established and has marked our history on both of our sides of the border. The fact is, Canadians well know that whenever I am anywhere on the world stage, I bring up human rights and I talk about their importance for Canadians and for us, as I did a week and a half ago when I was in Cuba.
This would lead to an interesting theory that Trudeau is actually the biological son of Fidel Castro, but that would be better off as a separate video. This video might seem like the opposite of a highlight reel, a failure reel perhaps, but Justin continues to amaze me in his ability to make himself look like an absolute fool. His trip to India was considered a diplomatic disaster, and mainstream pundits accused him of cultural appropriation as he was seen dressed up in colorful Indian outfits. After all of this, would you believe me if I said that the Canadian election of 2015 was manipulated by a third party? Just like with the Russia hoax, but real, a foreign influencer of the likes of George Soros himself used their propaganda outlet to propel Justin into a place of political significance. Here is a short clip from an episode of John Oliver's Last Week Tonight from October 18th, 2015, which served as both a hit piece on the sitting Prime Minister Steve Harper and a fluff piece for Justin Trudeau. I will include this short clip, but a link to the full thing is in the description, and I will try to keep it minimal out of respect for the viewer.
And I would love to tell the people of Canada right now to vote Stephen Harper out of office. Unfortunately, and this is amazing, it's against Canadian law.
Yeah, John, it's illegal to manipulate other people's elections. That's not going to stop you though, is it? I don't think it's a stretch to say that there is likely a video clip somewhere of John Oliver being outraged about the Russia hoax. But here he is, influencing the Canadian election. I don't know. Seems kind of shady if you ask me.
I simply can't imagine a better way to spend 5,000 Canadian dollars. But if telling you not to vote for Stephen Harper is going to cost me $5,000, I'm going to get my money's worth. And I'm going to do it in the most Canadian way possible. So please, come with me. Because I'm going to tell you not to vote for Stephen Harper alongside this beaver.
That's about as much John Oliver as any human being needs throughout their lifetime, but if you want to check out the full video, a link to this video is in the description of this video. What's next for Justin, you might ask? I personally think he'll find himself a nice job at Netflix where he can work openly with George Soros in their pursuit for a more diverse world.